Hi everyone, this is just to clarify a few things on task 3. As you can see in the instruction, it says look at the two activities described below. You don't need to actually do the activities because as you'll see in activity 2, which is on the next page, there are two pictures that are indicated, or provided rather, and one is marked in the top left corner, student A, and the one on the right is marked student B, which I'll show you in a moment. So we're actually providing you with the material for two students. That means that it's impossible for you to do the activity yourself. So all you need to do at this stage is read through the activity and make sure that you understand what the students would be required to do. So as you can see in activity 1, the students need to work by themselves, and what they need to do is study the picture and then describe the room in detail. It doesn't specify whether or not they need to speak to a partner or write when they do their description. So there is a little bit of ambiguity in the task, and they're working individually. Right, so now we're looking at activity 2. And as you can see, the first picture, it says student A, and over here it says student B. So this activity is slightly different from the first one that we looked at, because now instead of working individually, the students would have to work with a partner. And this is reflected in the instructions that are provided. So the students now have to work with a partner, but they only get one picture, and they cannot show that picture to the person that they're working with. So for example, I would get student A's picture and my partner would get the other picture. I cannot show my picture to the other person, and they cannot show their picture to me. In order to find out if the pictures are similar or if there are any differences, we need to talk about our pictures. So as you can see, the pictures look very similar, but there are small differences. For example, on the shelf next to the girl, on student A's picture, which is mine, I have what looks like a bowl or a vase, while on my partner's picture, there are two dolls of some sort. So I would describe this to my partner, who would then say yes or no, or they have something different on their shelf. In other words, I need to communicate with my partner in order to determine whether or not our pictures are the same. So this is what you are looking at in comparing activity 1 and activity 2. You don't need to actually do the activity. So the part of the instruction that says talk about your pictures and identify and circle the differences is the instruction for the students if you were to hand out this activity in an actual lesson. But for the assignment, all you need to do is read the instructions and make sure that you understand the activity. Your actual task is this part here. So once you've looked at activity 1 and activity 2, you need to compare what the pros and cons are of the two activities and think about them from a communicative approach. Remember that in week 1, we are focusing on teaching communicatively. So once you have read the course notes that we gave you, as well as all of the additional readings that were uploaded in the folder, you need to think about the background information that you now have and decide which of these two activities, is it activity 1 or activity 2, is more communicative, and then give a reason for your answer. Your response should be 150 to 300 words. And then you should be guided by the mark allocation. So because this particular task is worth 5 marks, you need to mention, for 1 mark, you would need to say which activity is more communicative, and then you would need to mention at least 4 points to motivate why you say activity 1 or activity 2 is more communicative based on the readings that you have done. Okay. So just to clarify, please do not actually do the activities. You do not need to circle any differences here. You do not need to do activity 1 or activity 2. The only thing you need to do is read through the activities, make sure that you understand what the students would need to do if you assign this in a class, and the actual task that you need to do for this assignment is this part over here. That is what we will be marking. I hope that this clarifies what you need to do for task 3. If you have any other questions about this, as always, feel free to send me a message on Edmodo or send me an email. My contact details are on Edmodo or in the course info.